Thank you, Chen. Just like what the story or the moderator has said, there are 500 million arrivals every year coming from overseas. When everybody is cashless these days in China for all the payments, for those of foreign tourists, it is becoming quite cumbersome to find themselves not being able to pay. And that's why we've worked with 5 major credit card companies, including Master and Visa, to connect your credit cards, foreign credit cards, to WeChat, so that we are able to support online transactions as well as offline merchants. We did this also with the spirit to follow the principle from PBOC to open up the financial market in an orderly manner, including and ideally to make it available for all 50 million merchants in China. Okay, every day WeChat has about 1 billion transactions. And I've also seen another report saying that by 2020, the total turnover through the WeChat payment is going to be 5 trillion. What would be your next goals? Well, starting from the beginning, WeChat payment, it's not a very big team. For only 500, 600 people in a team, we try our best to make the transaction volume to be more than 10 trillion transactions every day. And that would be a very interesting goal because we've done our calculations. So we have about 1.3 billion people, eliminating people who probably don't want to transact through WeChat. So with 10 billion, with 1 billion in our population, at most we probably have 2 trillion transactions. But if you give us 10 more years, I believe we probably will completely, the market will be completely saturated unless you go to deep down in the rural area. But most likely, wherever you go in the rural area, you can pay for a bottle of water using WeChat. So exactly how deep we can go into the market. And we've been trying all sorts of things to help us answer that question. And that's why we're doing it by doing it by industry. So we want WeChat payment is not just for payment. Many sectors and industries are going through their revolutions and transformations. If you look at supermarkets in China, perhaps 1/3 of the cashiers in supermarkets are cashierless because you can do it by yourself. You can check out by yourself. And if you go to the restaurants in China, you don't need to wait for your waitress to be there. You can scan the QR code on your table and place the order by yourself in the restaurant. And when you go to a car park, you can, they actually automatically detect your license plate. And then when the time you leave, it recognizes your license plate again. So it registers the entry and the exit, and it will be paid directly through the account linked to your license plate. Things like that. So you don't even have to scan the code. In the past, 70%, we cover 70% of electricity and power bills. This is a very simple payment scenario, but then people didn't realize it can be done very easily. And when you use WeChat, WeChat to that extent, WeChat is going to be as easy as you use or connect your house to electricity. Secondly, we saw new user scenarios. For example, we have been using or we have been creating different kinds of products to help you to pay installments or to pay for your family members. These are all interesting banking products. And we are also trying to research possibilities of various verifications for payments using your face recognition or fingerprint recognition. Who can imagine that China can use QR code to replace cash and credit cards and bank cards in just 5 years? We believe in the future, other types of technology will emerge to replace QR code.